My name is Kathleen Briley. I'm really happy to be working with students teaching art at South Summit Elementary School in Camas, Utah. When the idea of making this film was proposed, it gave me a chance to reflect on the learning that we've done this year and the growth that I've witnessed in myself as a teacher, in my students, and in the collaboration with staff. I think we've all grown through this process of working together.
Hi, my name is Shannon Squire Kitchens. I am an art teacher at the Weileman School of Discovery. I teach kindergarten through 5th grade. I identify quality work through close observation of the students. I spend a lot of time watching to see how they work and how they engage in a project, and then I also look at their craftsmanship, their construction, to see if it's carefully constructed. I can tell they're really working hard towards communicating through their visual form.
We developed an art liaison with each grade level so that we could really not take up too much time in teachers' meetings. We would develop ideas together, and then I would show up at the teachers' meetings and then talk to them step by step to make sure, am I getting the point of what you're teaching in your classroom before I go invest a lot of time in the art room.
The process of coming up with these projects was working with grade level teachers and sitting down and looking at what they were teaching in their classrooms and looking at their curriculum, and from there deciding what project might fit the things that we would be doing in art with our 3D program.
I'm becoming familiar with 4th grade math. They gave me the math book and I go home and do my homework so that I'm sure I'm using the right language. We try and use the same language in the art room and in their classroom.
My name is Aiden Cohn. I go to school at South Summit Elementary. We started this project in art, and then we went to math by using a protractor to measure the angles of the shapes. We learned about parallel lines, intersecting lines, and perpendicular lines. I think what I like about it is how the colors mix and they're not right next to each other, and how they have spaces between them.
My name is Sebastian Barra, and I go to South Summit Elementary School. Well, this mandala was actually an awesome piece. In math, I learned about how radio symmetry, because you know how the lines in the radio is? So it starts in one line and goes to a quarter and still is the same.
This year, the amount of creative growth that the children have made has just blown me away. I'm moved to even talk about it. And actually, some of the things that I've taught them are actually high school kinds of concepts. I trust them. I think they know how important this time is together. We have no discipline problems really, maybe just a little getting too exuberant sometimes and sharing, but I trust them with carving tools, and because they've shown responsibility, because I think that these experiences are so important to them.
The 5th grade project evolved from us sitting down together again as a team and discussing what they were working on in their classroom. They were working on pre-revolutionary America in their history, and their language arts book was going to be Chains, which deals with pre-revolutionary slavery. Their links were created using newspaper and packing tape, and then layers of paper mache. The 4 links were then base coat painted. They then applied additional colors to create patterns, texture, movement. And then the final step would be they collected words within classroom, language arts time, words within discussions, words from the actual book, and then clipped them from magazines and applied them to the surface of their chain link pieces.
So my piece is kind of about slavery a long time ago, and it has some words on it like hope and freedom that slaves wanted. They wanted freedom, but they couldn't break free, and that's why I have chains with hands in them.
We had to make chains that related to our life and what chained us, I came up with the word chains on a chain, and there's words that would chain me.
I wanted to keep the 2 outer chains that have the hands in them white because it meant like that I wanted the words on it to really pop.
When I create art, it just feels like I'm gonna make something good that I can look at all the time and remember.
I listen to their conversations. I hear art words coming up amongst themselves when they're not knowing they're being listened to. Their teachers, their classroom teachers come back and talk to me about how art is overlapping in their classroom, that the kids are talking about it and applying it to some of the studies that they're doing in their classrooms. I think we're all learning from each other.
This piece of art, it worked well because in one specific spot he didn't carve out all of the place, so it made it have little lines in between.
I identify how good they are by how they use the shapes and how they use the colors. So on this one right here, they use like a salmon type of color with pink and purple and like Valentine colors. And then with aluminum, they use silver. And I think that really bounces off with all of it and makes it good.
I like it because the colors are in different shapes and they have an odd form. They don't have just 2 or 3 straight lines.
Another major component for each of these projects is dedicating time to talking about finished pieces, having the students talk about their own piece, have students talk with each other about their piece.
I like it because it's sun, moon, and then sun, moon, and I like the shapes of it. I really like the shapes of it and the texture of it.
On these, for the color, I think that they're like a little more outgoing than mine, and that's not a bad thing. I really like it, and I kind of wanted to keep mine more simple and not so wow, but these really express who the person is and their art.
Given the opportunity to do this again, we'll have more time to pre-plan our assessments. We knew what our learning outcomes were. I think the kids demonstrated it through their art and their classroom work. But one thing that I've been learning just through this experience of making this video is I need to take time to pause with the kids and give them a chance to talk about their work in maybe a more formal structure of really setting aside time. I think we've really developed a thoughtfulness around our work. I think the kids really care about producing quality work. I think they walk in really wanting to do their best. Quality work to me, for myself and for my students, is when I can see what they are learning resonates inside of them, that it goes beyond just fulfilling the requirements of the assignment.